Illustrator CS6 demonstration, I'm going to introduce to you a little bit more about navigating through your project using the hand tool and the zoom tool and the relationship to the Navigator panel. So if you would like to display the Navigator panel, you can do this in several ways. First of all, you can find it under your drop-down window menu. You can scroll down until you find Navigator. Another way to bring it up is to click on the Navigator icon, which kind of looks like the steering wheel of a ship. If you do not see that icon in your list of available floating panels, you can bring it up here under Window and Navigator. So I'm going to bring that up to where everyone can see that in the demonstration, and you can kind of see the relationship. Now the Navigator panel, when I hover over that red square, it changes my cursor from a pointer hand to the grabber hand. The grabber hand looks like a little cartoon glove. And if I move that, clicking and dragging across the Navigator panel, look what it does to my image window. So there's a relationship between the Navigator panel and my image window. The Navigator panel also allows me to zoom in and out of my illustration. So I can use this zoom slider located at the bottom of the panel, and I can click and drag as I zoom in to my illustration. I can zoom back out and then use the Navigator hand, the grabber hand, as a tool to move about. Now I can also see this relationship with when I use the hand tool or when I use the zoom tool. Watch, for example, if I choose the zoom tool and I zoom in and out. Now if I hold down the Alt key with my zoom tool selected, it changes the cursor from the handy spyglass with the plus sign. Now you can see it's the magnifying glass with the minus sign. So as I hold the Alt key down on my keyboard, I can zoom out. If I release the Alt key, magnifying glass cursor changed to having the plus sign again, and I can zoom back in. And you can see how that changes the little red outline, which is the proxy preview area. You can see how that relationship works. So let's bring this into a real-world project. If I was working on a full-page advertisement, for example, of a restaurant, and I've got my layout pretty well in line, I can use this navigation tool here, the hand tool, to move throughout my project by clicking and dragging on that project and moving it around in my image window. Notice how that changes and it updates the proxy preview area, and it reflects what I can see in my image window. So the image window is related to the proxy preview area as shown in the red outline. I can also move around in the Navigator panel. So it's important that you understand the relationship between the Navigator panel and these two tools in your toolbar. I can zoom in and out of the project as well. Same idea. If I bring the magnifying glass zoom tool, notice how if I hold the Alt key down on my keyboard, it changes to a minus sign in the magnifying glass. I can zoom out. I can use my proxy preview to bring that entire ad into view. And I can just kind of check on some of my alignments and placement of items I can see on screen. So it's really important that you understand the relationship between the Navigator panel, which is a floating panel, and you can move it anywhere that you want on the screen while as you're working. You can move it to the left if that's a more comfortable position for you. And you can continue to either use the zoom tool or use the zoom slider. I can also type in a very specific, if I wanted to see this at 50%, I can type it in here. Or at the bottom left of my image window, I can also type in what level of magnification I would like to see this project. So I can zoom in closely. I can use the Navigator panel. Say I wanted to examine the text up close and personal. I can do that using the Navigator panel. So these are very handy tools as you begin working with your projects and you need to move about quickly and easily through the project. And that concludes this demonstration.